we'll move on to the calibration. Have you got a calibration sheet?
Yes,
So you've gone through the scenario with the surrogate, and you're content that they can deliver the...
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yes, I went through it. It felt quite stressful for me, and I thought the surrogate was really good and responded quite nicely to the way I interacted with him. So I felt I was able to begin to give him some reassurance, and I was feeling less anger and less aggression towards me at the time.
So we should now agree which skills that we're marking. We have been given some suggestions, some guidance on the scenario. So clinical communication skills C.
So we're looking usually for 2, 3, maybe maximum 4 in each of these. So I think if we ask for too much, then it's looking for too much. But in terms of this, the clinical communication, for me, one of the key things is to get across the need for antihypertensive treatment and why it's effective.
So they must convince or demonstrate that they're trying the importance of blood pressure medication.
Yeah,
that's
so
absolutely
explain
key.
why in the context of someone who would otherwise be asymptomatic.
Yeah. And they should also demonstrate a number of different ways that the patient can try and remember to take treatment or to...
Yes, I think so. Although
understand the importance of taking it.
I think that's probably right, although in this scenario it's probably more that he's willfully not taking it rather than he's forgetting to, but we don't quite know that. But certainly I think they should explore the reasons why he's not taking the treatment.
They absolutely must establish why the patient isn't taking treatment. That's absolutely key.
Yeah. And then that will actually then move on to the management plan of how to address that issue. Yeah. It's possibly he's not taking it because he's forgetting, or it might be because he's not taking it because he doesn't want to.
And so there are a number of things that they could say, but if they don't get it, we wouldn't fail them if they fail to establish some minor point. We're not asking them to establish absolutely every single point, are we?
No, I think those two things would be the absolute key for me that they must do. They must explain the need for high blood pressure, the reason for high blood pressure treatment or antihypertensive treatment.
And the need for taking.
And they need to explore the reasons why he's not currently taking them.
So moving on to skill F, managing concerns. Clearly there are the generic aspects of this, pleasant interaction, active listening, etc., etc. But they must absolutely answer the question that the surrogate's going to have, and also attempt to answer all the other questions.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I think that also once those concerns are introduced, I would be looking to see them to acknowledge and probably address them then and there, or at the very least acknowledge them and say, I'll come back to that before later. Yeah. So we've got the specific ones, and one of the specific ones he's obviously going to probably ask is around the effect on his sex life.
Sex life, yes.
So I think that probably is one that I would be looking for
an honest.
And I think one of the important things is sometimes is not to. I would be looking for them not to be completely dismissing the concern, but to acknowledge that it is a possible effect, but that explain the proportionality of it.
Yeah. And the likelihood that none of these effects are permanent, and that if there is a problem, that you can always adjust medication in some way.
So maybe we're looking for the two things. One is the discussion around the effect of the medication on sexual function, and then about reassurance on long-term effects of the drugs versus their short-term side effects. Which I think clearly the surrogate's going to introduce those two specific things. That sounding enough?
That sounds fine. Yeah, agree on that. Clinical judgment, skill E, also points of ethical interest.
Yeah. So I suppose the outcome we're looking for here, from a paternalistic perspective, is for the patient to agree to take the medication, which we believe is likely beneficial.
So it's negotiation skills, isn't it? Predominantly here.
So it's about negotiating a plan by which the patient will be willing to at least have another trial of treatment.
It isn't enough for the candidate to say, well, you've got to take this medication, full stop.
No. So a plan that he's telling them to take, he or she is telling the patient to take the drug is not good enough. It's about coming to a negotiated plan.
Yeah. Okay, and skill G, we're just given advice on the mark sheet, which is rarely a problem for this.
No. So I think that will give us a good, good calibration, a good set of principles on which to mark. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that. So we're ready to go, aren't we?
Ready to go, absolutely.